está. Esta es nuestra iglesia. Hoy hace un día súper nublado y está haciendo algo de frío. Aquí vamos. Ok, estoy súper feliz porque me dejaron grabar mi ceremonia. No puedo grabar a nadie más, pero voy a grabar mi ceremonia. Así que ya vamos a comenzar y deseenme suerte.
But starting off, I'm just going to be coming around and applying the burns to everybody. I use a traditional burn stick called tamashi. First time, I would recommend, at least maximum 2. But if you're looking for something a little milder, 1 is still effective. You're still going to get the immune boosting and anti-inflammatory and things like that. 2 is when it starts getting a good bit more intense. If you've done it before, I can go up to 3, and then 3 gets even more intense than that. But the burn is not the application of the medicine, so you're not gonna start feeling it from the burn entirely too much. And I'll go around and I'll give each person their burns, and then I'll come back around, and I'm just gonna be scraping that top layer off the burn to give access to that capillary layer, and then I'm gonna put the sapo onto that spot. And it looks kind of like little globs of wasabi. So once I put that on, that can be kind of the most startling aspect of this. It's like 3 to 5 seconds you're going to start feeling it. If you've ever done like a niacin flush or anything, it starts off that way, or if you only do 1, it's a little bit similar, where you're going to start feeling your body get really warm. You're going to feel your heart rate start increasing. And then it's just going to kind of keep going past that phase of the niacin flush. A lot of times people get nausea. There's about 100 or so different peptides in this, but one particular peptide contracts the soft tissue muscles in your body. So that nausea is usually real deep down low. It's not like an ayahuasca purge or something similar to that, where it's just like, it just comes. Sometimes it can feel a little stuck, so I like to change my position sometimes, maybe more like this, kind of unclench the gut a little bit. Sometimes I have to kind of get the party started and just make some noises, even just some dry coughs can kind of feel energetically releasing. Just don't be afraid to make noises or release if you're feeling that nausea. One of the key differences between combo and sapo is the amount of water. With combo, they're going to have you drink like a gallon of water. But this is just enough water. That way, if you do purge, you have a little something in your system. It's almost always bile that comes up. So if you're like, I haven't eaten today. What is this? It's orange, it's green, it's blue. It's the body's bile coming up. And the bile just helps filter out a lot of the toxins in the body. So kind of getting that out gives your body some nice fresh new bile. But it's not the be-all, end-all of the experience by any means. Some people purge, some people don't. A lot of times I might have those coughs, but I'm just like dripping sweat the entire time. I feel like every pore in me is just kind of releasing. Or sometimes I'll have these really deep yawns or a burp. So there's a lot of different ways to release. Sometimes you can kind of get energetic and shake a little bit. So don't feel like you have to throw up. It's definitely not the purpose by any means. If you're feeling it, it's in your system, you're getting the effects of it. And one of the benefits of sapo is it just goes where it needs to go that way. This, you might feel it in your toes, or feel it in this area. Sometimes I've had it hit me and there's like no nausea, and I just get these like waves of emotions kind of coming through. So really just kind of tuning into whatever is coming up for you. But once I put it on, the entire experience is only 15 minutes. So I've got this little sand timer here I'll be running with. It does, hit a peak and kind of come down. So, if you make it to that 7-8 minute mark, you're pretty much at the max that it's going to be, and it'll start coming off on its own. If sometimes it hits and, I just feel it like drop in my guts, and it's like, I gotta go use the restroom. But ideally, if you can kind of just like wait through that experience, that'll usually kind of settle on its own a little bit. But if you do have to use the restroom, we'll have to take it off early. It also can really affect your blood pressure throughout this experience. Sometimes when you're feeling hot and your heart's going, your blood pressure is higher. Sometimes it'll drop and you feel a little colder. And that is your body's natural response, to lower blood pressure. It just wants to make sure blood gets where it needs to go. So it's not a bad thing, but you just need to be mindful of you wait till the end and we take it off within a minute or so, you know, you're going to self-regulate back to normal. You know, everybody's bodies is a little bit different, you know, your metabolism and all that. So this is going to be pushing everything out of you at once. So sometimes your body can't keep up with that. So it stores a lot of that in the soft tissue areas. So it's common enough that there's a term for it called frog face. So you might experience some swelling. Usually it's kind of in those soft tissue areas, the limbs, the lips, things like that. But you're not having like an anaphylactic shock or anything weird like that. You know, it's totally normal. If you have rings or anything, you might take those off just in case you get a little swelling in the hands. But it'll never swell up so much that you can't like breathe. But sometimes it feels like a frog in your throat, you know, just a little bit of a lump. So if that's uncomfortable, you know, you can just spit in the bucket. You are welcome to drink water throughout it as well, but I would try and get the majority in, you know, beforehand, since it's only a 15-minute experience. All these peptides are considered bioactive, which just means your body has all the receptors for these peptides. So when your body's like, I'm done with this, it shuts those receptors off. So it will come down and come off just about as quickly as they come on. So you don't have to mess with it. You don't have to wipe it off. You know, about the 12-15 minute mark, it should start kind of wearing off. And at that point, I'll come around and I'll wipe it off for you. Throughout the experience, you know, the first, you know, probably 10 minutes or so, I'll do some music just to kind of help kind of settle us into the experience, since it does come on kind of quickly. That drumming, that singing can kind of help, you know, move us through the experience. Everybody does come to this for their own reasons. You know, some people just simply want some, you know, physical cleansing. Some people it's more emotional, more spiritual. So whatever your intention is, I usually recommend, you know, kind of keeping that in you as almost like a mantra, because, you know, similar to ayahuasca, this is an ordeal experience. You know, it's not easy by any means. Or you could kind of repeat that mantra back to yourself, what you're here for, maybe what you're here to let go of, or what you're here to work through. And that can kind of give you that strength to kind of move through the experience. If it is just like too much for you at any point, you can ask me to take it off. I can take it off, and then within a minute or so, it'll kind of wear off pretty quickly. Or if you're doing multiple, we can take one off and leave one on, whenever you kind of need to feel comfortable through the experience. With all of these kind of medicines, you know, you're building that relationship of trust. Breath is probably the most powerful tool you have during this experience. You know, especially when it first starts hitting, you know, my heart will be going a little bit faster. You know, those real deep breaths and those slow exhales can really kind of slow down the heart a bit and kind of relax us into the space. Even those really deep exhales feels like, for me, just kind of letting the steam out of the kettle a bit. You know, so throughout the experience, I'll have those deep breaths just to kind of level it off somewhat. And then after the end, I'll go ahead and I'll take it off everybody, and I'll give us all a little bit of time to kind of come back into the space. And then I offer hape. And hape, or it's called rape in some circles, is the shamanic snuff that's blown up each nostril. So the hape can really help kind of put you back into your body, kind of ground you. that which no longer serves me. I receive, I receive, I receive. I am that I am. I am returning as a seed. 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 I release, I release, I release that which no longer serves me. I release, I release, release, I release, I release that which no longer serves me. I receive, I receive, I receive. I am that I am. I am returning as a seed. I release, I release that which no longer serves me. I release that which no longer serves me. I receive, I receive, I receive. I am that I am. I release, I release, I release. I receive, I receive, I receive. I am that I am. I am returning. As a seed, as a seed, as a seed. We have the power to heal ourselves. We have the power to heal ourselves. We have the power to heal. We have the power to heal. We have the power to heal ourselves. Every day we have a choice in which way to go. It's up to us if we choose to grow. We have the power to heal ourselves. We have the power to heal. Every day we have a choice in which way to go. It's up to us if we choose to grow. We have the power to heal ourselves. We have the power to heal. heal ourselves. We have the power to heal.
Intention was to ready for my eyes on as clean as possible.